Alrighty.
Wonder if he's gonna raid into us.
Hello. Welcome everybody to Champions of Runeterra. Hi Jack. Thank you for subbing.
Me?
I don't have the sound set up for the preview, unfortunately, but I will make sure to do that. I am the worst human ever, and I'm sorry.
Nope.
Welcome to Champions of Runeterra, the show where I, the Dungeon Master of Champions of Runeterra, talk with some of my players about our campaign, about the system of Rune Arcana, and about the Magitek Repository, which is the super awesome Patreon content that we get from Ardu, who is the creator of the entire system, which is absolutely awesome. Had him on the show a couple weeks ago. Hopefully that'll happen again soon. So let's just jump right into some introductions. My name is Jonas. I just did my introduction, so we'll just jump over to Jack.
My name is Jack, and I voice Bing Bing.
Kalo, Kefri.
Maggie Lily.
Right, wonderful.
There's a way that I could turn on my camera just for Discord, but not for the stream.
That's okay.
Because I like Jack.
It's all right. You can FaceTime him.
So we call him on FaceTime.
Now she's actually gonna do it.
I don't have an iPhone.
It's okay. So today we did our introductions. Today we are going to talk about some of the plans that we have for adventuring in Demacia, and then we're going to cover our Magitek Repository and then see if any of our players have any questions. So first off, Demacia. I guarantee that unless we have the worst rolls in the history of rolls, by the end of next session, we will be in High Silvermere. And my thought was, by the end of the next session after that, we are in the great city of Demacia. So that is the goal. Then we'll take our winter break, and then we'll come back in the new year in the great city of Demacia, which I am very, very excited for. So before I go through a couple of thoughts, I was wondering if anyone has anything specific in Demacia that they know they want to see or do or experience, knowing that you still guarantee, love the pun, thank you. No, I know for sure that we have 50 renown to go. Maggie as Lily has 100. But yes, what are your thoughts if there's anything specifically that you'd like to do?
I have 100 renown in Demacia?
No, you need 100.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was very confused. I am very interested, personally, to find out more about Lily's backstory as an orphan on the streets. Because I have a move. A move? Is that what that's called in this game?
No. Feature?
A feature. I'm playing too much Dungeon World. I have a feature or background class something specifically about being able to navigate the streets of Demacia really well.
True. Yes, you do. Cool. Jack, do you have anything, or would it be helpful if we knew who the champions were? Maggie, would that help you?
Champions? Oh.
The champions of Demacia?
Yeah, I know 2.
Okay. So if you have the stream open, I have that open. So we have Fiora, Galio, Garen. Yeah, I know. That's why I said Galio like that, because I knew you'd be excited.
I didn't know the Galio was in Demacia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Fiora, Galio, Garen, J4, Kale, Lucian, Lux, Morgana, Poppy, Sona, Quinn, Shyvana, who I think I thought she was from somewhere else and came here. I don't know. Silas, Vayne, and Xinjiao.
And in our universe, Nocturne is here.
Well, he was 6 months ago.
Can I also put on there?
I'm pretty sure I'm sorry.
My own small goal, which is to get a Galio hug.
Okay. Galio is the size of a small mountain.
Yes. Yes, and
okay, great. I will.
I would like to be crushed.
Okay.
A small mountain the size of a large mountain.
Crush me, Daddy Galio.
Crush me, Daddy Galio.
Get in your chicken costume and crush me.
Okay.
As for Jack, for where Nocturne was, I'm pretty sure in the current League of Legends lore, Nocturne is in or was last seen in Demacia.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
they
All I
encountered
know is our
him.
canon.
Yeah, they encountered him in Fossborough, which is the settlement that he attacked. My point was just, it's now been 6 months, and he might not still be there.
He might
Yeah.
not.
He's
I
a spooky, scary skeleton without the skeleton.
I don't see on my character sheet the
Ability to hug mountains.
yeah, and that's weird. Isn't
Come
that
on,
so
man.
weird that I don't have the ability to hug mountains? Oh, there it is. Cunning. Sorry, I'm gonna read this. This is from my orphan background. You know the secrets of the streets where you grew up, all the hidden passages and secret places. You have advantage in stealth and perception checks in the place that you grew up. You and your allies have twice as much movement in the region where you grew up, as long as you are leading and the group is not engaged in combat. Additionally, you have advantage in any check done to haggle a mundane item.
That is a very long list of bonuses that you get while you're in Demacia.
But it's specific only to Demacia. So that is something that I'm excited about because I've been sitting on that this whole
We
time.
could just get a bunch of little trinkets and then sell them for profit.
Just because you will always have advantage. I love
Right.
that. Wonderful. Jack, what about you? Anybody in particular that you're maybe wanting to fight or befriend or get back at or anything?
So we've met Lux and Quinn only?
And Vane.
Oh yeah, and we met Vane.
And
Nocturne.
Silas.
No, we never met. Did we meet Silas?
Oh, true. Sorry, you never met Silas. You were being chased by Silas.
Yeah, we were being chased by like his cronies.
His
cronies, his work. I don't know, but I think training with Garen might be cool. Of like getting better at sword fighting, because I feel like that's not something that he particularly did. While at sea, it was more of the two-handed, but now he's going more into a sword fighter because that does more damage in his eyes. So I think training with Garen or Fiora might be cool.
Totally.
And then meeting Bing Bing has, I wouldn't say a weird obsession, but he does have like, he wants to understand why Yordles left Bandle City.
I remember that from
Because
Piltover.
so he met with Heimerdinger and Ziggs, and I think it's mainly because he's trying to convince himself that him leaving Bandle City was a good idea. And I think meeting with Poppy and trying to like understand why she left, so that he can maybe like come to grips with that, because we are getting closer and closer to, or I think we're still a ways away from the day he left, but that day's gonna be fun. And by fun, not at all.
Kayla, what about you? Is there anyone that Kefri might be particularly interested in meeting?
How much renown does Kefri have in Demacia?
None.
Nice.
I think off the top of my head, probably, I mean, Galio would be fun. Sona. Those two would be great. As Kefri aside, as for me, I'd want to see like Lucian and Morgana as well, because they would be fun. Morgana for the aspect.
Sorry.
The like being the aspect, half of the aspect of justice, and that'd be fun to see the whole dynamic of like controlling power and figuring out how like to use magic well. And then Lucian, just because of the whole fighting against the Shadow Isles and all of the it's not the harrowing. What is Viego's whole thing?
Oh yes, the ruination.
Yeah, but just me as a player, I think those would be fun. I think Kefri would want to see like Sona, Shyvana, and Galio, just because they're cool and they're different than the people around. like Sona's mute and yet she's a telepath. Galio is a huge, giant mountain of a man person construct.
Mount Lady.
Yes. I love that. And I know that Holden also wants Piper to meet Sona as well, because I know that he's kind of a disciple of hers. So I think Sona will definitely be a priority. So I will share.
Well, can I say one more thought that I had?
Of course.
Lux has a sibling.
Garen.
I think that I have stated before that Lily may not have interacted with Garen because her relationship with Lux was very under the table, but I think that Lily, like, growing up, had kind of a crush on Garen.
Okay.
And I would like that to become relevant at some point, because I think that would be very silly.
Okay. Secret crush on... Perfect. Very exciting.
Writing that down.
I am. I wrote all of that down so I can incorporate it. So I'm not going to tell you specifically what the plan is, but one of the things that I have for you is connecting at least 6 of these people into one mission. You wouldn't be working for all of them, but they would all be involved, and it's not another one small favor style mission like in Piltover. It is actually cool, I think. And there are certain desires people have expressed that we haven't done. We haven't really done any political intrigue, and someone mentioned wanting to do that, so I'm going to try to sneak some of that in there. But this is very helpful to know the types of people we are most interested in interacting with, which is very helpful.
So
yeah,
stay away from the Mage Seekers,
always.
and we might see Jero like that.
Awesome. Oh, that's really important. Kefri wouldn't know this, but Hexcore are enemies to the Mage Seekers.
Yes.
Because Lily was originally a prisoner.
Yeah, Lily is a wanted criminal.
Yeah, in Demacia to the Mage Seekers. And it's only been a couple of months. So I would say avoiding them is probably in your best interest, but who am I to say? Like, that's up to you.
I mean, also being, like, Vestaya, they'd probably be very against that. Just because Demacia.
Just existing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because racism.
Just because racism. Just some cheeky little racism.
True.
Do. Racism. All right.
The other thing that I wanted to show, which I will show more in session, but this is mostly for Maggie, a little bit for Jack, and Kalo, I'm sure you've seen this kind of stuff. I just wanted to show a little bit of what Demacia looks like, and share a little bit about it. So here are some pictures.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so Demacia is very elegant.
Little Minas Tirith.
Very Minas Tirith, very anti-magic. So this is the Grand Plaza.
Pretty fucked up with them.
Also, isn't, like, the majority of everything they have made of petricite?
Yes, and petricite is notoriously the great magic diffuser, if you will. So the entire city is built to be like a giant anti-magic field. So those of you using magic will have somewhat reduced effects if you are like in the big city. So this is the Grand Plaza, and it says, at the heart of the great city of Demacia is the Grand Plaza. The wide, open space welcomes mass crowds gathered to applaud those honored by the crown. So this is typically where big ceremonies and celebrations happen. I can't help but see it as that opening scene in Hercules where he accidentally takes down all of the pillars in that little marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's shaped the same. It's got the pillars and whatnot. Down here, we have the Citadel of Dawn, and this is where the recently deceased King Jarvan III, his body rests. So this is kind of like the funeral hall for the king, which is absolutely gigantic, and it does some other things as well. And then this is one of my favorites, which is the Hall of Valor, which is where the throne is. And I think that Demacian armor is probably some of the coolest fantasy armor I have ever seen in any piece of media ever. I want to see if I just click Demacia, will it pop up? I have to do this, I think. Click Demacia.
Where are you looking at this?
This is on map.leagueoflegends.com.
Ah.
Lovely website.
Lovely website. Okay, there we go. Look at that armor. It's
sick.
It's so cool.
It reminds me a lot of Rel's armor.
Mm-hmm. I love how flowy and elegant it is, even if it's not necessarily super practical.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's super weird.
It's very, someone said very knightly, completely agree. I think it's so cool.
Very knightly, but it's also like, the silhouettes are kind of whack.
What do you mean?
Like, scroll up a little bit.
This one?
Yeah, like, the way that it, like, they all kind of hang down to cover the crotch in a way that armor doesn't typically do.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just in case you get...
It's like a loincloth out of steel.
Yes.
You know, the flowiest material.
Yeah.
In all of the...
Yeah,
Which
as someone
is-
who worked with steel all day today, I can attest steel is very flowy, very light. Yeah, protect your area from all kinds of magic.
And what's really funny is the description on...
It's a chastity belt situation.
Yes.
Oh, God.
The description on the Demacian weapons on this page says, the design ethos of Demacia is elegant yet minimalistic and austere. Its armor and weapons are not overly ornate. And I'm like, look at this. This is so unnecessarily over the top. But I think it's beautiful. I'm just a really big fan. Garen's armor is one of my absolute favorites. So I'm very excited to explore it here. And the other thing I like is these guys. The raptor flying soldiers that use the giant spears. So when you guys pick up Jeffrey? No, what's his name?
Kefri?
No, not Jeffrey. Jasper.
Jasper.
I said I was going to wait until he's grown, and he is slightly grown, but he is not this big. I have reworked him, and then this is what they wear. And I like these capes with the drapery of the metal. I think is so cool.
Once again, the flowiest material.
The flow, it looks like feathers, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And they say they're anti-Vestayan. Wonderful. Does anybody else have any closing thoughts or opinions, goals, or anything that I should know before I start prepping all of the Demacia stuff? I've already prepped a lot.
Demacians are whack.
Yes, true.
True statement.
Okay, if not, that's cool. We can chug along. And we are going to talk about our new Hextech repository. And this one I am particularly excited for. Once again, you can find these on patreon.com/ardu, ARDDHU. What?
Nice little ad.
Yeah, that's why we do this, is so that people can subscribe to Ardu. It's also in the bottom right corner of
Also because it's cool and interesting. We're not just doing this for the sake of ads.
I misunderstood. Yes, agree. So this one is the Aqua Vitist.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Vitality through liquids. Specifically, today is about consuming alcohol, which I'm very excited for.
Woo!
So I'll read the history like I always do, and then we'll look through what some of the different topics are, and we don't have to look through all of them, but we'll go through a couple. History. The consumption of alcoholic beverages has always existed among human beings, even among animals. Alcoholic beverages are, by definition, liquids resulting from the fermentation of different ingredients, a process that happens naturally, and some animals have learned to use it recreationally. But among thinking beings endowed with emotions, feelings, and doubts, alcohol ended up being a companion, a friend, and unfortunately, often an enemy.
God, I hate being a thinking being.
I know, us thinking beings and our
fucking thinking beings
with our
are
feelings and our alcohol
Maggie,
companions.
you are in that list.
Oh, I'm not a thinking being?
Yeah.
Nope.
Shit.
Get it? Because you have no brain.
True.
For this reason, alcohol consumption is not something for everyone, and even so, the control of it is not something common, and the most common is the people are dominated by it. But in a land where everything is bathed in magic, it would be innocence. I think it means naive to believe that the product of fermentation would not receive its own share. Still, in such a spiritual world, there are not few spirits who are connected to alcohol or even disincarnated who seek to satiate mortal pleasures. Ooh, I love my mortal pleasures. Ooh. So there are 3 new features. So these are things that any of you can get next time you hit level 4, 8, 12, 16, or 19, I think. Which can be done character creation or enhancement. And additionally, there's a new craft, which is the Brewmaster's craft. So similar to how we introduced skinning and harvesting recently, Brewmaster, if anyone wants to brew things, I'm sure this is something, again, that David would be interested in. And the last thing is a new rune essence, which we will talk about briefly, but we're going to do that one last because we haven't used the rune essences much. So first off, before we read into it, does anybody have any thoughts on the ideas of magical alcohol bending?
Alcohol
Just
bending.
imagine Katara
Wait,
from Avatar just bending and oh god, that'd
we have
be so funny.
Oh, what is the item? I'm completely forgetting it.
The ring that makes everything alcohol?
No,
Oh.
that chunk of true ice. We could just pull a Gragas and just stick that into like an ever-flowing wine barrel, and
I love that.
Or just spirits.
Yeah.
We'd be so rich.
One
Part
of
of
the
the thing
things
being to be a alcoholic fat man.
at one of the places that I have worked, they have a welded steel frame that was designed so that you could get like 4 blocks of ice, and then you take a shot and you pour it over the blocks of ice, and then it pours out at the end all nice and cool now.
Oh, that's sick.
Some graggy ice.
Some graggy ice.
Oh,
That's my
the
favorite
second pun.
Pokemon.
That's the second pun. You get 3 a stream.
Wait.
That's it.
You have Regigigas, you got graggy ice.
Wait, graggy ice is already a thing.
It is.
What?
It's a skin in the that's the alcohol that Broloff drinks. Is
That's
graggy
so
ice.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious.
You can get it on a t-shirt.
Yeah. There's an established joke, but I'm glad that you didn't already know about it. Okay, so let's talk about the
hair. That's your second of 3 puns per stream, Blue Zay.
Hey, I mean,
making a limit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Blue Zay's on my list now.
All right, let's talk about this enhancement. And I love the first sentence. The ability to drink alcohol is common to most creatures. True. What divides them is what their tolerance for this ingestion is. You, perhaps because it is a common trait in your family or a developed habit, not only have a great capacity for drinking alcoholic beverages, but they also cause little to no intoxication in you, leaving only a pleasant and energized effect. This trait can be chosen as inheritance or an enhancement, respecting the differences between the two. I love that.
You can do it either way. Just please follow the goddamn rules.
I'm investing my level 4 huge upgrade. I have a high alcohol tolerance. So by choosing it as an enhancement, which is the only one we're going to read, because we obviously can't redo inheritances or heritages. Constitution or charisma increases by 1 up to a max of 20. Immunity to the intoxicated condition from drinking alcoholic beverages. You can never be drunk. It just filters the alcohol out. Living water. You can heal 1 hit dice for each short or long rest by consuming a liter of alcoholic beverage.
A liter?
Liter, I hardly know her.
I'm assuming it's thinking like wine or beer and not like a liter of vodka, because that would destroy you. But you are immune to intoxication.
Dick.
Yeah, that's crazy. And if you had chosen to do it at character creation, you have resistance to the intoxicated condition. Well, it says immunity. Oh, you've resistance to intoxication from anything. Then when you use the living water effect, you would also add a chosen attribute modifier, and you would get the extra bonus tier stuff. So anybody interested in immunity to intoxication? Hi, Ardu. Love you.
Hi, Ardu.
Oh, everyone take a drink.
Oh,
Speaking of
this
drinking.
is speaking of drinks.
Speaking of drinks, I'm going to drink some of my iced tea and my water.
I'm going to drink some of the alcohol that I have.
All right, I'll go ask Ari for some.
Bing Bing what?
Bing Bing wants them.
Yeah?
Bing Bing wants it.
Cool.
Not Jack. For sure not Jack.
For sure not Jack.
No, not me.
If there was no risk of intoxication, Have I seen that? I saw that it was being translated, but I knew I wasn't going to have time to help with the translation, so I'm very excited for it to be finished. And once the preview is finished translating, that will be our next topic for sure. If they said they might have it done in a week, and if that's true and it's available next Thursday, then we will do it. Otherwise, we will do it after that. We will do it after the winter break. But yeah, very excited to talk about the preview. For context, 0.94 for all intents and purposes is the non-tested version of what the final game is going to be.
1.0.
Yeah. 0.9, or I think 0.99, unless it was going to be 0.94, 0.99, and then 0.99 was untested 1.0. Yes. Okay. Yes. Good. So we are getting close. Ardu said in the next couple of months or several months, and I hope that is true, but I also hope that we, are able to be a part of that testing process to provide feedback. But that means the 9.9 will be final without review. Okay, awesome. Very excited to share this final product with everybody in the near-ish future.
Can't wait to completely redo our character sheets.
A second time. I'm excited. Yep. And I'm also hoping that we find someone that can make an actual Roll20 sheet for it. I might reach out to the Roll20 support and ask for help doing that. All right, so we've got our enhancement, which I think that David might potentially be interested in. Bing Bing's definitely interested in. Let's move on to the craft, which I really, really love, because for those at home who don't know, they own a bar, which has been reworked and now is going to be producing them 1,000 gold every 3 months. So that is a nice extra chunk of change that they can also use to get information from. So Brewmaster's Craft. Fermenting is an art. Whether it is to produce beer or even wine, the same art is also used to produce spirits through slightly different processes. When you gain proficiency with this craft, you add your proficiency bonus to rolls made with the Brewmaster's tools. Then you have the ability to ferment. You can produce or analyze alcoholic beverages as long as you have the space and time to use your tools to ferment, distill, decant, and apply other processes for this. Each hour of service produces 1 liter of a drink, the result of which is ready after 8 hours. So it's a very quick fermentation process, but obviously it would be very silly to be like, all right, here's this cool new thing. Now wait 12 years until this whiskey is properly aged. So it was still a pretty quick turnaround, but that's reasonable. Potable water. Your knowledge of distillation allows you to produce purified water from drinking water. As part of a long rest, you can purify up to 20 liters of water or 3.5 liters of a short rest. I really, really like that because you will encounter places sometimes where the water isn't drinkable. Now, you have the ability to just create water because Piper has kind of taken all of the survival skills in this entire game out because of spells selected, which is fine, because I know not everyone's super into that. But if she's gone or something like that, you have you could potentially have the power to do that. Synergies. Story. You can build up information about the drink by knowing where certain ingredients came from. That's cool. So if someone says, we're going to give you a Yordle Snap Trap, and that's the name of a drink, you can learn about its origin from knowing what's in it. Medicine. You're able to more effectively treat someone with alcohol-related poisoning and are able to administer alcohol sedatively so you can knock people out with booze. That's fun.
Oh, yes.
Persuasion. You have a sense of when people are most susceptible to an invitation to a nice mug and open their hearts. I love these. These are so narratively interesting.
And they're all just Bing Bing, except maybe the medicine part.
Yeah, but even then, you might want to knock someone out with alcohol.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Let's have a drinking contest real quick.
Yeah, I could see this being also just narratively making a lot of sense for Bing Bing too, of like, spend a lot of time on that boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might actually be willing to potentially just
sommelier.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind just giving you proficiency in this.
Okay, cool.
If that's something we are interested in potentially looking at, because hundreds and hundreds of years as a pirate and consuming a lot of alcohol, I don't think it's unreasonable for you to not know that this was ever going to be a thing and just say, like, as part of my backstory, I helped brew some of the grog on the ship. I would be okay with that. This seems relatively harmless.
Yeah, this is definitely something that Bing Bing is going to do when we get to the level.
Love it. Well, so this is a craft. So this is just something you can be proficient in. And then you can purchase the tools, which I'm assuming is a smaller thing. So you wouldn't create, like, a keg of ale. You would create, like, pints of ale at a time. And then things that you could do with the tools. Oh, hello. We got a first-time chat.
Thanks, but no thanks.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, no, we're good, but I appreciate the follow that will probably be removed in the next 10 minutes. That was very nice of you. Thanks, Mag. All right, detecting.
I'm a good moderator.
True. Detecting poison or impurities in a drink is really, really cool. Identifying an alcohol. Typically, when you have alcohol, you're buying it from someone and they're telling you what it is, but maybe you don't know for a number of different reasons. I could see that being interesting. And then also ignoring the effects of alcohol. So if you want to ignore the effects of alcohol without committing an enhancement, you can then roll a Brewmaster tool check. And if you roll a 20, you have the ability to do that. Now, I don't know what it would be. It doesn't say. I feel like it would depend as far as a skill check. I feel like detecting poison or identifying the alcohol would be an intelligence check, but ignoring the effect would be a constitution check. And then you would still get to add your modifier and your proficiency bonus here. Brewmaster Tools allows you to create fermented or chilled beverages, analyze their composition to cant. Okay, so it would include a 6-liter copper still, which can be made up of a large container, a siphon, funnel, and container. In addition, includes 5 empty 1-liter glass bottles. Cool, nice and simple. I love it.
Yeah.
Anybody else potentially interested in seeking out proficiency in brewmastering? I
feel like I don't want to talk for Holden, but I feel like that's something that Piper might be interested in, just in case we go back to the bar and Piper would like be behind the bar and shit like that.
Yeah. I think that this is a great example of one that if the party didn't seem to always be in such a rush, which is totally fair because you want to be champions as soon as possible, but if you guys were down to just like, hey, we just want to vibe here for a bit and open a store and run a thing and whatever, you could absolutely like take advantage of a lot of these quirkier type things. Yeah, I love that. You could use it for mass sampling of products. Absolutely. That's really, really a cool idea. You could just identify exactly what all of them are and what their sources are by sampling. If someone was like, here's 12 different ales that we might want to sell your bar. I would also be okay with a reduced cost of opening what is the bar called?
Oh God,
Pilty Pints. Opening up a Pilty Pints in another kingdom. I could see that being a thing. Yeah, I like it. Any other thoughts other than it seems cool?
Ionian elixir, Shuriman spirits.
Yes. I love it. Okay, and this is going to bring us to the last thing, which is the rune essence, which is a series of runes that you can choose from. I do want to talk about a couple of these, just because I think they're interesting. Not only do you like them, but you've used to make it a part of your runes. I think this is inspired by Gragas, because canonically, Gragas is just a fat alcoholic fighter boy. And if you were to do a tier list of strongest to weakest champions in League, like he's pretty consistently at the bottom if they were to 1v1 and have a fight like everyone. Like he loses to Yumi.
Actually, wouldn't he be a lot higher just because of the fact that he's Iceborne? Or is able to like have that Iceborne, the true ice?
Gragas?
Yeah. He has the true ice in his cask. So
maybe.
It's not super weak.
Okay.
But he's no Aurelian soul.
That must be new since I have last looked at things 6 years ago. which is fair. All right, so just to do a quick run through, Runic Pulse, basically you drink alcohol, then your attacks do more damage if it's a melee attack. Fighting Style of the Drunk. You now have drunk damage. Drunken damage is also increases your Runic Pulse, so you deal extra damage dice based on what level you have, which I freaking love.
Wait, question.
Yes.
If the whole you can't be intoxicated bit, would that just be like you don't get the disadvantage of it, but you can still get the drunken buff?
That's what
or is
I
it just
think.
You're not drunk?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that any benefit you have from alcohol you still get, but you don't have like the disadvantage on attack rolls and things of that nature.
Also, drinking, like just drinking and not having any of the like fun dizzying bits of it would be kind of ruin the whole like bit of it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm drinking. The drinks are pretty all right.
Yeah, I agree. I wish it was toggleable. You know, like I can get tipsy, but I can't get drunk. I want to be a little more charismatic and a little dizzy, but I don't want to throw up everywhere.
We all wish we had that.
Yes, I think we do. Except for you.
Except for me.
Except for you. All right, each drink has its characteristics, its own spirit. Your constant experimentation has made you know how to recover the sensations after drink, reviving your vital energy. Sip lasts for 4 turns. It's something more like you get the dizzy, but you don't have the disadvantage. Okay, perfect. So it is you get the... if you think of the dizzy as a positive, you get the fun part. I love that. Would it be awesome to have a business meeting over drinks, overserve the other, and get better deals because you were in the right mind
hell
still?
Yeah. Absolutely. Is for sure doing this.
Yeah, there are so many things you can do with this. Okay, so the Runic Flow, which is what you guys have most recently, I think. A sip lasts for 4 turns. When you take a sip, you can activate the flavor of the moment. Roll 1d6, you get that feat for the duration of the sip, so it's 4 turns. When taking another sip, you are under taste of the moment. You are under if you are under that effect, you can decide to roll the d6 again or keep the previous one. You can do it twice per long rest. So you have nothing, +1 hit on rolls. First melee attack deals max damage. Earn 10 temporary HP, +1 AC, or +1 attack per attack action. Holy shit.
And then if you have mastery of it, you get to just choose it's all positives. Like, not even like having the 1 be nothing. It's, oh yeah, you get to choose the effect. That's insane.
You could just choose to have 4 attacks per action or 5 attacks per action. That's absolutely bonkers. Okay. Vortex.
I may have to take this.
Yeah, I was saying this one's actually kind of super broken.
It's no exhaust, but it's still...
Yeah, that's crazy. When drinking your alcoholic beverage, your body can transmute the vapors caused by the drink. When you take a sip, you can activate your internal potencies to convert the energy into an elemental breath. So you have a breath weapon of acid, ice, fire, or poison. That's pretty sick. Pretty simple. Oh, wow. Half your character level. So this would be... For like Steven right now, that would be like a 16 DC, which is pretty decent. 20-foot cone.
Pretty decent.
Stop.
I hate you. That's your second one, Maggie. You get one more.
8d6 elemental damage.
I'm allowed.
That's what I was looking for. 8d6.
Jesus.
86.
You're just rolling fireball every time you're like, I wanna have a little bit of a sip.
And a sip can be taken with a reaction and lasts for 3 turns.
Jeez.
That's so cool.
That's insane. All right, Runic Explosion's the last one. Ridiculously skillful is what's it called, but you have to have 20 Constitution to take it. So the other thing about these is you have to take all of them together.
Yeah.
And you have to
I don't think Bing Bing is going to take these because he already has
You have
runic
to
stuff
like kit
that
into
is
it
built
though.
for him.
as
Yeah,
well.
yes, exactly. So this is very much
into it,
something
yeah.
that you create a character like, I'm making an alcoholic and they're a brawler.
Yeah.
Probably an ancient spirit or deity, also a fan of drinking, liked you, causing your body to react in a supernatural way when you take a drink. Bent Strike. When performing the attack action, if you are under the effect of a sip, you can make up to 3 additional melee attacks. Each one must be against a different target, and if you miss, you lose the next attack. You can do this 2 times per long rest. That's insane.
So you could have 5 just because of this.
Yes.
That's so
And I
cool.
think already a max level fighter gets 3, so you could have 8 attacks in a turn. And then you
Jesus
action surge
Christ.
and do it again.
That's so cool.
Under the influence of a sip, you can, with a reaction, when an enemy misses a melee attack against you, you can have that attack hit another creature you can see within 5 feet of you, other than the attacker himself. So if you're like in a 1v2 and one swings a punch at you, you can deflect the punch to hit another person. Sip lasts for 2 turns. And let's see, you also could do a +2 hit bonus, and critical range decreases by 2.
So that's an 18.
So you can crit on an 18 and attack 8 times. Have fun.
Monk in a flask.
Yeah, that's bonkers. All right, y'all. Anyone want to remake their character or kill off their character and be one of these bad boys?
I mean, it's who
I
needs
can look into
a
it, but I do
spiritualist voice?
like my runes already.
All right. Unironically, though, looking at this might be the play for a battle royale.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 8 attacks. Pow, 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 pow,
Yeah.
pow, pow, pow. I'm stoked for this. I don't know if anyone's ever going to use it, but I think that's really cool. I would like to do a battle royale in break the drink file equals done. Love it. I would love the opportunity to do a battle royale maybe in January or February. Give people time.
I still
during
I
the
think
break to prep it.
maybe it was my idea, maybe it was Logan's idea of doing like a
Teams
battle royale where we make champions.
Oh, that would be cool. I'd be down to
Because
try
we
that
talked
also.
about it. We talked about it before, and Logan just constantly makes champions, and we made champions for the one shot I ran that one weekend that wasn't on stream. But it's difficult, but can be done.
Mhm.
Just for some reason, Holden decided in my one shot that he was gonna make a Felios, which that was difficult.
Yeah. Absolutely love that.
Building like a champion would be cool.
I think that'd be super sick. Okay. So that brings us past our Magitek Repository, which once again you guys can get from patreon.com/Ardu. Highly recommend. I've been supporting for almost a year now, I think. I feel like my bank statements would tell me, but it's been a couple $100. And I think that it has been money well spent. Also supporting the creation of this product. Does anybody here, before we head out, have any questions or topics of discussion that you would like to float for the group before we skedaddle?
No, I'm good.
And we don't have any community ones?
Nope.
Okay. Hey, do community questions.
Agreed.
viewer.
I need to I can't think of the word. Promote it more.
Promote it.
Yeah. Definitely agree. But
I mean, we also have hit a bit of a small hiatus in the actual game.
Yes,
so
that's true.
it'll probably bounce up more the more
once we all come back.
Active session. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that after the break we aren't needing to take time off because I feel like everyone will be all caught up. Greetings, nerds. Hi, Hakan. You caught us just as we're about to shut down, but good to see you, Hakan.
Hi, Hakan. Love you.
We love you. Okie dokie. Let's see. We're gonna do our 5-word goodbye. We're gonna start with Jack, then Kalo, then Maggie. But before we do that, we're gonna drop some things in the chat. We got our Discords and our community. We got Rune Arcana, all that stuff. Please make sure to follow and join our Discord so you can hear about all of the cool things that we're doing. And now let's jump into your closing thoughts. Jack, Kalo, Maggie.
Do you like my haircut?
Horses are very, very sneaky.
Give Ardu all your money.
And as always, mine is I love you. Good night.